Hey, today I'm talking about these two boots, the Canada West Moorby and the Red Wing Iron Ranger. I get asked all the time to compare them, and to be honest, I've been avoiding it because I think I don't think one wins over the other. They both have so much merit. I would never be able to say, one is better or worse than the other. They're just both great boots. But I figured I'd go through the features of each one, and that way, if you're trying to decide between the two, you'll have a bit of information to go on. So both are made in North America, Canada West being made in Winnipeg, Manitoba in Canada, and Red Wings are made in Red Wing, Minnesota, or the Heritage line in the US. But in terms of build, I'll start with the outsole. Both use the same industry standard Vibram 430. It's just a nice mini lug outsole. It's got decent traction and comfort. Canada West uses a stacked heel with leather lifts, which I think looks great. And I would say I do prefer that look over the one-piece heel block on the Red Wings. I don't find that one performs better than the other, though. Neither pair have a midsole. They both have cork filler and a steel shank. Both have a 270-degree Goodyear welt, and I would say the stitching is equally tidy on both. As you can see here, Canada West does have a higher stitch per inch count. On the insole, Canada West uses a cushioned insole with a couple of synthetic components. It's got some pour-on, a layer of pour-on, it's got a layer of felt. It's definitely more comfortable at first, but my preference is in the construction Red Wing uses with just a straight up full leather insole that I find gets more comfortable over time. I think that may just be a personal preference thing. I know some people that prefer the cushioned insole, and I know some that prefer the leather insole. So just different features for each pair there, depending on your preference. The leather uppers are equally well constructed. The stitching is tidy throughout. Both are built to last and are going to be just as durable. Canada West does have some really nice features on these Moorbies here that show a little bit of extra care and complexity in the stitching, like you can see on the curved back strip. And on this particular model and a few others, the brogue details that are available there. In terms of the leather, overall, I prefer the hand of the SB foot leathers. I think they just feel nicer. Some of the oils and that just have a nicer texture to it and develop more character over time. But in terms of durability, they're both going to hold up just as well. Just that I find the SB foot develops a little more depth and a little more character. Unless you find a pair of Canada West boots in their crazy horse leather, which it's unbelievably good. For the most part, the Canada West leathers are coming from Mexican tanneries, and then Red Wing Heritage using from the U.S. tannery SB foot. So if that's going to influence your decision, that's something important to note. But as mentioned, Canada West, their leathers super durable, super hardy, and if you find a pair in the Crazy Horse leather, I think you're going to be really impressed by that. So the leather is going to be equally tough and durable, but overall, I'd say Red Wings have a nicer feel and develop more character over time. Red Wing definitely builds a more sturdy tongue. You can see the Canada West tongue is just really thin and flimsy, made of a poorer quality leather, whereas on the Red Wings you get a nice sturdy, tough leather tongue. And then the laces with Canada West, they come with a cotton set of laces that I don't have anymore. You can see I've switched for rawhide laces. They weren't bad and they weren't poor quality, but I just preferred switching for rawhide there. And the Red Wing laces I just find to be a little bit more tough. In terms of overall design and build, this is going to be completely subjective. My foot tends to feel better in the Canada West boots, and just in terms of the design, I like the look of the Canada West boots better. But that's just, the last of Canada West tends to fit my specific feet better, and I just like how it looks more. The wider toe box and higher instep are just, I think, more comfortable and much easier through the break-in process. And the Canada West Last also feels a little more balanced to me, and looks a little more balanced and just feels less bulbous and less front heavy. I do love the Iron Ranger, and I love the look of the Iron Ranger too, but just from feedback from some of the non boot folks in my life is typically negative when it comes to the Iron Ranger, but on the other hand, typically positive feedback that I get when I'm wearing my Canada West boots. So, and again, Canada West has some nice touches on their design, like the back strip and the brogue detail, some things that just kind of can refine that look a little bit. For sizing, I was given my sizing advice from Herbert's Boots. They've been selling both of these brands for decades, and they know their boots, they know their sizing, and they told me to size the same in both, and that definitely worked out great for me. And they know their boots and their sizes and didn't steer me wrong, so I'll just give their advice and say size the same in Canada West as you do for Red Wing, and vice versa. In terms of price, this is where it's not even really fair to compare the two. I mean, Canada West is just such a great value. You can find these anywhere from as low as 255, 260 bucks, all the way up to some places selling them at 320, but you'll easily find them in that 260 range without an issue. Just find one of their retailers online, and you'll be able to pick up a pair for in that $260 range without problem. So you go from that end, getting a pair of the Canada West Moorbys in that $260 range, and then look at the Iron Ranger, where you're going to be paying anywhere in that sort of $430 to $440 range. These are Canadian prices I'm talking right now. So there is a huge discrepancy in price between the two, but some of the components, like the Mexican tan leathers, the pour-on insole, the flimsier tongue, those are definitely going to help keep the cost down on the Canada West boot. But it looks great. It's going to be just as durable, and it's going to ring in like $175 cheaper. So, I mean, really, if your budget is part of your decision making, that's definitely a huge consideration when it comes to purchasing a pair of these boots. So that's just a quick comparison of the Canada West Moorby and the Red Wing Iron Ranger. I mean, like I said, there's no winner here. These are just two really great pairs of boots that are well made, built to last, and have a few differences that may or may not fit with your preferences and or your budget. But I hope that was helpful, and thank you so much for watching.